It's the Andy Griffith Show, facts and trivia, with your host, Bob Snap.
Hi guys, welcome to the Andy Griffith Show, facts and trivia. Appreciate you being here. Today's video is meet the many different faces of Wally's filling station in Mayberry. All the guys who played Wally over the years. Howdy, Wally. Sheriff Andy calls to a skinny gentleman with dark hair who's reading in a rocking chair and on his front porch. Andy, Wally answers, putting down his newspaper to find out what the sheriff wants. A man in a hurry would actually spend a decent amount of time with Wally, the owner of Wally's filling station, because a central part of the plot is that the man in a hurry is stuck in town because his car needs fixing. On the Andy Griffith Show, Wally's filling station was perhaps, aside from Floyd's barber shop, the most memorable Mayberry establishment. And for the role of Wally, the show cast several actors at different points, each with unique appearances and personalities. In this episode, it's Norman Leavitt acting as Mayberry's main mechanic. Leavitt appeared as Wally once before Man in a Hurry in the 1962 episode Lawman Barney. It's possible as might be to face you associate with Wally's filling station in your mind, because those episodes are both fan favorites, and he was the only person to play Wally more than once. But three other men appeared as Wally during the Andy Griffith Show's run. Trevor Bardette in Gomer the House Guest, Cliff Norton in Goober's replacement, and though some fans dispute this role, was intended to be the same Wally, Blackie Hunt in the Barbershop Quartet. Figured now would be a good time to take a moment and get your Wally straight. Leavitt was the original Wally, character actor who had featured in movies since the 1940s and transitioned into TV in the mid-1950s. In his career, he appeared on the Andy Griffith Show as several other characters, in addition to the guest roles on shows like The Addams Family, Green Acres, and so on. He was a kind of string bean comedian who was known behind the scenes as a bottomless pit when it came to snacking on set. In 1952, on the set of a movie where he was specifically cast to play a skinny guy who eats everything in sight, it's reported he daily consumed about a dozen candy bars, 6 to 8 sandwiches, 4 pounds of assorted fruit, and a jumbo-sized box cookies. The story goes that his wife would pack him a hearty lunch, which he would eat early, and then he'd eat a second social lunch in the commissary with the other actors. According to the Napa Journal, his wife screams hysterically if anyone asks her what he eats for dinner. As a nightcap, he likes salami, cut the long way, sandwiches. He credits his busy life as a character actor to always looking for his next meal to appease his limitless appetite. My Broadway stage background taught me a lesson, he said. Like most actors, I eat every meal as though it might be my last one. He retired from acting in 1978, his final appearance on Quincy, M.E. Trevor Bardette became the next Wally to walk into Mayberry when he appeared in the 63 episode Gomer the House Guest. This was totally different Wally, mustache and holding his face in a scowl as he watched Gomer goof around telling stories to a customer, while another customer lost his patience waiting him out the service. Excuse me. Losing his cool, this version of Wally shouts at Gomer before storming into the filling station, after which Sheriff Andy calmly observed, "Wally's a little sore, huh?" "Oh, he don't mean nothing by it," Gomer says. "He's a wonderful human being." But the truth is, Trevor Bardette was never cast to play wonderful human beings. He was always cast as a bad guy who delights in killing good guys on TV. In '59, the Daily News described Bardette as an ornery cuss and noted that most often he was the one snuffed out by the episode's end, sometimes by being shot, other times being stabbed, smothered, strangled, drowned, crushed by rocks, poisoned, trampled by horses, or hung. This angry version of Wally was played by an actor whose most notable on-screen skill was being able to believably be taken out by the TV heroes. The big trick is to die casually, Bardette says. Most actors have never been killed before tend to overdo it in their first attempt. You have to be extremely careful that the death scene doesn't wind up being humorous. I once saw a man hung. He kicked and kicked and kicked. It was horrible. Yet if you imitated the incident on TV, it might possibly look funny. For the 30s to the 60s, he honed his skill as prolific a baddie. His wife Dorothy once joked, "I'm used to seeing Trevor being mean." For Bardette, playing Wally was an extreme change of pace, but afterward he also appeared on other TV comedies like My Favorite Martian and Gomer Pyle USMC, retired from acting in 1969 and passed away 8 years earlier. about 8 years later. Earlier would be weird, wouldn't it? Next time we see Wally in Mayberry, it's the 6th season, and he's played by Cliff Norton, who the St. Louis Dispatch described in 1963 as one of television's supporting faces, a man seen on all the networks. Norton's episode is called Goober's Replacement, and in it we watch as Wally decides to fire Goober because his girlfriend Flora brings in more business on the day she fills in for Goob at the filling station. By the end of the episode, Sheriff Andy and Wally lean up against a car at the station, with Wally admitting, "I have no luck with women," says after Flora quits. "Well, we're not supposed to understand them, Wally. Just appreciate them," Andy retorts. Norton got his start as an actor later than the other Wallys, but that's because he came from radio. As radio performer, Norton voiced many characters, but he found transitioning to TV really limited his roles when he made the leap to 1950. In television, the face is there and people won't believe you as a character of too many parts, he said. They didn't stop him from appearing on TV for decades. In addition to playing the filling station owner, he played a wide range of characters like a game warden on the Dick Van Dyke Show, police chief on The Monsters, a professor on Bewitched, a waiter on the Beverly Hillbillies, and a tramp on Maude. His final role came on Murphy Brown in 1994. Out of all the Wallys, though, Norton might have been the one with the most experience dealing with customers. Growing up in Chicago, Norton took a wide range of odd jobs, including shoe salesman and a women's dress shop window dresser. According to the Chicago Tribune in 1950, he would improvise jokes on the job. Imagine going in a dress shop asking to try on the dress in the window, only to have a grinning store employee say, "Sorry, ma'am, but we have a dressing room for that purpose." Perhaps his most humble job was the most Mayberry-sounding one. He flipped hamburgers at his uncle's burger joint. If it weren't for discovering acting, Norton likely would have spent his whole life goofing off on these odd jobs. "I've never taken anything, myself, too seriously, with one exception, show business," he said. Fans of the Andy Griffith Show dispute whether Norton's appearance in Goober's Replacement was the actual final appearance of Wally, or if that happened the next season during an episode called The Barbershop Quartet. For the Barbershop Quartet, Andy enters a contest with the Barbershop Quartet, which includes the character actors Burt Mustin and Blackie Hunt, as well as Jack Dodson, playing Howard Sprague, who ends up missing the contest. This results in Andy having to find a replacement at the last minute. "Wally, come here," Andy shouts to Blackie Hunt's character about 2.5 minutes into the episode. Because Mayberry was a very well-known character named Wally, who is frequently played by different character actors, some fans see Blackie Hunt's character as Wally, the owner of the filling station. Others see him as some other Wally. It had never been made clear that this is the owner of the filling station. To play this musical version of Wally in Mayberry, it makes sense that the Andy Griffith Show cast Hunt, though. Hunt was a vaudeville performer who could play many instruments and was so good he frequently played them while hanging upside down. Andy Griffith Show was the only time Hunt ever appeared on TV show, but in Las Vegas, Hunt was an absolute legend. And out of all the Wallys, he did the most Mayberry thing when he decided to retire from performing. He opened up a family business, a Las Vegas restaurant called Bootlegger Bistro. He ran the place with his wife, who lovingly included her mother's recipes on the menu. Both of them were performers, and though retired somewhere or elsewhere, they continued performing in the restaurant, her singing and Hunt doing what he did best, wildly playing instruments, sometimes while standing on his head. The restaurant became a place where Vegas performers liked to hang, the same way Mayberry folk used to hang out at places like Floyd's Barbershop and Wally's Filling Station. Now, I know this was a bit long, but I just thought this was very interesting. And now you know the Wallys. Now, when I ask you, okay, you ready? Was Blackie Hunt Wally the filling station, or just another Wally? And if I was in Australia, this would be a really funny video. Wally. And anyway, please don't forget to check out classic rural comedies, facts, and trivia. And that would be on, let me see here, Granny Clampett, Irene Ryan, and her hobby, what she liked to do. It's very different from what you might think. Classic TV facts and trivia is on Jerry Mather's mother did not want him on Leavitt the Beaver. Nice rock country music facts and trivia. Conway Twitty used a stage name for his entire career, and he had a brilliant reason for doing it. And Faith and Entertainment is on professional wrestler, one of the original Four Horsemen, Tully Blanchard, from styling and profiling to prison ministry. Now, if you're still here with me, I'll let you know that there may not be a video on Saturday possibly none on Friday. I'm thinking I'm putting one out late Thursday night instead of Friday morning. I've got a school board convention to attend, so we'll just see how that plays out. All I got for you, please subscribe. If you have not yet, please like this video. I'd appreciate it. You have a great day. God bless you, and I'm praying for you.